You have $50, not $50 to invest. $50 left over after everything else. After rent, after food, after the direct debit you forgot about that hit on Tuesday. $50. You've been told your whole life to invest. Your dad said it. Your school said it. Every finance video you've ever half-watched said it. Invest early, compound interest, time in the market. Nobody told you what to do with $50. Today we're going through every level of investor. From the person with $50 and no idea where to start all the way, to the people who move markets without making a sound. Each level plays by different rules. Most people never find out what those rules are because they never make it past the first one. Let's talk about why. Level 1, the beginner. $0 to $1,000. You download an investing app at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. Not because you've done research, because you saw something on social media and felt that specific anxiety that comes from watching other people talk about money you don't have. You deposit $200. You feel responsible for approximately 4 hours. Then you start browsing. There are thousands of stocks, thousands of options. Everyone online seems to know something you don't. Someone in a forum says a certain stock is about to explode. You buy $80 of it. It drops 22% in 6 days. You tell yourself you'll wait for it to recover. It doesn't recover. Not for a long time. Maybe not ever. You withdraw what's left and tell yourself, investing isn't for people like you. This is what happens to most people at level 1. Not because they're stupid. Because nobody told them that the first rule of investing is almost embarrassingly simple. Buy everything, sell nothing. Wait decades. That's it. An index fund, automated, monthly. Do not look at it. Do not touch it. Do not make decisions about it based on things you read at midnight. The beginner who figures this out with $50 a month will end up wealthier than the person who tried to be clever with $50,000. Not because of the amount, because of the time. Time is the only variable that actually matters at this level, and most people trade it away trying to be smart. Level 2, the saver. $1,000 to $10,000. You've been consistent for 8 months. The account is at $1,400. It doesn't feel like much, but something has shifted. You stopped checking it every day out of anxiety and started checking it once a week out of mild satisfaction. That's a bigger change than it sounds. At this level, you start reading, not motivation, not get rich quick. Actual books about how money moves. You learn what an index fund actually is. You learn what dollar cost averaging means. You open a Roth IRA and stare at it for 2 weeks before you put anything in. The market dips the week after you invest. Your first instinct is to pull it out. You don't. That decision, that one moment of not panicking, is worth more than any stock tip you will ever receive. The saver's superpower is not intelligence. It's not income. It's boredom. The ability to do the same boring thing every single month, regardless of what the market is doing. Buy when it's up. Buy when it's down. Buy when the news is terrifying and every headline says this time is different. It's never different. It's always the same game. The saver who figures that out early wins by default. Most people can't do it. That's why most people don't build wealth. Level 3. The self-directed investor. $10,000 to $100,000. You have $10,000 invested and you've made a decision. You want to do better than the index. This is the most dangerous sentence in personal finance. You've been investing for 2 years. You've read the books. You've followed the accounts. You understand the basics. And the basics feel too slow now, too boring. The index goes up 9% a year, and you want more than 9%. So you start picking stocks. Some of them work. You buy a tech company at $34 and watch it go to $61 in 4 months. You feel like you've cracked something. You tell a friend. You put more in. Then it goes to $28. This is the level where most people learn the most expensive lesson in investing. Outperforming the market consistently over decades is something that the majority of professional fund managers cannot do. With teams of analysts, with proprietary data, with decades of experience. You are not going to do it on your lunch break with a brokerage app. The investors who survive this level intact do something smart. They keep 80% in index funds and use 20% to learn, to experiment, to make the mistakes that no book can teach you. By the time they reach $100,000, the 20% has cost them some money and bought them something worth far more: the knowledge of exactly how their own emotions behave when money is on the line. That self-knowledge is the foundation everything above this level is built on. Level 4, the serious investor. $100,000 to $500,000. $100,000. You didn't expect it to feel like this. You expected a moment, a celebration, something. It feels like a Tuesday. But something real has changed, even if it doesn't feel like it. At $100,000 invested at a historical 7% annual return, you are making $7,000 a year without touching it, without working for it, without thinking about it. $583 a month, passive, automatic, while you sleep. That number is going to keep growing, not linearly, exponentially. In 10 years, at the same return, that $100,000 becomes $200,000 without a single additional contribution. The second $100,000 cost you nothing except time. This is the level where compounding stops being a concept and starts being something you can actually see happening in your account. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Your strategy shifts. You stop thinking about returns and start thinking about protection. Tax efficiency, asset allocation, how to keep what you're building. You max every tax-advantaged account available. Your 401k, your Roth IRA. Every wrapper you can get your money into, because the government will take a significant percentage of everything you build if you let them. You start thinking about real estate, not as a home, as an asset, something that earns. The serious investor understands something the beginner doesn't. Getting to $100,000 is about discipline. Getting past it is about architecture. How you structure what you have matters as much as how much you have. Level 5, the sophisticated investor. $500,000 to $2 million. $500,000. A number that sounds enormous from the outside and feels different from the inside. From the inside, it feels like the beginning of something. Because at $500,000, a door opens that was locked at every level below this. Accredited investor status. In the United States, if you have a net worth over $1 million or earn over $200,000 a year, you become an accredited investor. And accredited investors get access to things that don't exist in the public market. Private placements, real estate syndications, hedge funds with minimum buy-ins that start at $250,000. Early-stage companies before they go public. The returns available at this level are not available at the level below. Not because the system is unfair, because the risks are higher and the liquidity is lower, and you need to have enough that losing some of it doesn't end you. Your portfolio looks different now. Maybe 50% public markets, 25% real estate, 15% private deals, 10% cash waiting for the right opportunity. You have a proper financial team for the first time, an accountant who specializes in investment tax, an attorney who handles asset protection, a financial advisor who charges a flat fee and has clients you've heard of. You start thinking about things you never thought about before. Estate planning, trusts. What happens to what you've built when you're gone? The sophisticated investor has crossed into a different conversation. And the further you go, the smaller that conversation gets. Level 6, the professional investor. $2 million to $10 million. $2 million. At 5% annual return, that's $100,000 a year. Passive, forever. Without touching the principal. You could stop working. Some people do, most don't. Not because they have to keep working. Because at this level, the work has changed into something that doesn't feel like work anymore. You're not trading time for money. You're deploying capital into opportunities and watching what happens. The deals at this level don't appear on any app. They don't get advertised. They get mentioned quietly at dinners to people who already have skin in the game. A developer needs $400,000 to close on a land deal. A founder you met 6 months ago needs a bridge round to get to Series A. A portfolio company you're already in needs a follow-on investor, and they'd rather keep it internal. These conversations happen in small rooms with people who know each other well enough to be honest. Your most important skill at this level is not financial analysis, it's pattern recognition. The ability to look at an opportunity and know within 10 minutes whether the person presenting it understands their own business. You've made enough mistakes with your own money to know the difference between someone who has a plan and someone who has a pitch. That distinction is worth more than any due diligence process. Level 7. The Institutional Investor. $10 million plus. $10 million. At this number, you are no longer an individual investor. You are a structure. You have a family office or access to one, a team of professionals managing allocation across asset classes and geographies, legal structures that exist specifically to protect and grow what you've built across time horizons measured in decades, not quarters. Your concerns are different now: inflation protection, currency diversification, political risk. What happens to this portfolio if a particular government changes tax law? How do you structure ownership so the next generation inherits assets, not tax bills? You walk into rooms you used to only read about, not because you were invited as a courtesy, because your capital and your pattern recognition are genuinely useful to the people already in them. A family office managing $800 million wants to co-invest alongside you. A private equity firm is looking for operating partners on a platform acquisition. You are at the table because you belong at the table. That is a different experience of power than most people will ever understand. The institutional investor thinks in cycles, not quarters, not years. Demographic cycles, infrastructure cycles, credit cycles. You position ahead of them the way a sailor reads weather 3 days out. You are sometimes wrong. Being wrong at this level means a position underperforms and you rebalance. It does not mean your life changes. Every investor on this list started at level 1. The ones who made it to level 7 didn't get there because they were smarter. They didn't get there because they had better information or better timing or better luck. They got there because they understood one thing earlier than everyone else. The market doesn't reward excitement. It doesn't reward cleverness. It doesn't reward the person who checks their portfolio the most, or reads the most articles, or has the strongest opinions about where things are going. It rewards patience, consistency, the willingness to do the boring thing every single month for years, while everyone around you is looking for a shortcut. You have $50. Maybe you have $500. Maybe you have $50,000. It doesn't matter as much as you think it does. What matters is what you do with it today, and tomorrow, and every month for the next decade without stopping. The machine is already running. The only question is whether you're in it.